Hi, welcome to these Organic Devotions, a weekly series of brief reflections emerging from life here on the farmstead and life lived in pursuit of wonder and awe and reverence. Thanks for joining along. We are in full support mode with the tomato plants here in the garden. The weight of the ripening fruit is more than the sinewy branches can bear. Left to their own strength, the stalk can split under the strain or the branches break, leaving the plant seriously damaged and us without ripened tomatoes. And so we tie them up to the sturdy panel behind for a little extra strength, gentle reinforcement. The branches are still doing most of the work, feeding, protecting, holding. The ties and the frames just provide a little extra lift. Once upon a time, in the course of their exodus from Egypt, the Israelites were attacked by an opposing tribe. Moses instructed Joshua to organize some fighters to meet the attack, while he, Moses, climbed the hilltop and held out his staff in prayerful support of the defense. As the battle ensued, according to the story, whenever Moses held up the staff, the Israelites prevailed. But whenever he lowered his hand, the enemy prevailed. But Moses' hands grew weary. So helpers took a stone and put it under him, and he sat on it. And then Aaron and Hur held up his hands, one on one side and the other on the other side, so his hands were steady until the sunset. And so it was that Joshua and his fighters defeated the attackers. And that's the reality of our living. It doesn't matter if we're a refugee or a king, a self-confident entrepreneur or a struggling kid, God's designated leader or a bending tomato plant. None of us is strong enough, smart enough, resourceful enough to succeed on our own. It just makes sense to offer our hands to others because we'll need a hand ourselves along the way. In one of my favorite songs, singer-songwriter John McLaughlin writes, "When the cloud in the sky starts to pour and your life is just a storm you're braving, don't tell yourself you can't lean on someone else, 'cause we all need saving sometimes." I don't suppose it's the most exciting way to spend a morning, tying up sagging vines, but it's nonetheless worth doing, partly in anticipation of the ripened fruit we will eventually get to enjoy, but also partly as a reminder of the fact that we all need saving sometime. I would love to hear some of your stories of support. You can write me at organicdevotions@gmail.com. And until next week, keep your chin up, or your arms, or the arms of someone nearby. Bye-bye.